Should I smoke ganja? That is a very good question. Should I? Well, usually the main reason that you're smoking marijuana or the ganja is because you want a relief from something. So this tells me that you are seeking a relief from pain. You have a certain type of pain. Maybe it's physical, maybe it's emotional, maybe it's a mental pain, and you're trying to solve it. Usually, mental pain comes from emotional pain, actually, which is repressed for a very, very long time period. So then you start developing so-called mental diseases, which it is a way to try to cope with the emotional pain. And we have emotional pain, especially in 2025, because there are a lot of people suffering in the world, and we just act as mirrors. We just pick up other people's pain. That's just how it works. And thanks to globalization and the internet, the memes of pain are just spreading throughout the world. So if you see the people in Palestine getting bombed, do not think that will have no effect on you. It will have a devastating effect on your emotional and mental well-being. Because of globalization, internet, memes, technology, just look at the coronavirus. Look how fast it's spread throughout the world. We could compare a virus to a meme. Basically, memes are just viruses. They're just much, 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 much smaller. And if you go into the Middle Ages, you talked about virus or bacteria, people would think you're crazy, you're a lunatic, you're cuckoo. But nowadays, thanks to quantum computing, quantum mechanics, we can actually measure even thoughts and memes. With this said, interesting how we took a very simple, common thing like the ganja, and we started talking about memetics and things like that. So yes, usually people smoke the marijuana because they're feeling pain. In fact, the Jamaicans or the Rastafari, they call the marijuana, they call it the night nurse. A little bit like heroin or morphine, which, if you didn't know, is much, 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 much more pure than heroin, is used to treat physical pain. For example, if you're in the war and somebody shoots off your leg, your friend will give you some morphine so you do not feel the pain of losing a leg. So how to cope with the pain? You can smoke the ganja, of course. But I'll give you an easier method, an easier solution, which is zakat, fi sabilillah, and the Muslim prayer. You should try it for yourself. It actually works. Why? Because the Muslim prayer is designed by God Almighty to calm down your fourth chakra. Fourth chakra is the seat of emotions for the Hindu. And those are the exact correct words to open your fourth chakra, like Surah Al-Fatiha, the opener, the opening one, to balance and harmonize the fourth chakra. Of course, you can't be praying 5 times a day, even 50 times like Abraham prescribes. But if you're surrounded by non-believers who are constantly agitated, constantly stressed, who are going cuckoo, then even if you pray 5 or 20 times a day, maybe it's not gonna be enough. So the only other way to do this, to feel better, without needing to smoke the ganja or any other type of drug or cigarettes for that matter, is actually combine the 5 daily prayer with listening to the Quran and zakat. Zakat is very important. Fi sabilillah, and we give our money to the starving Yemeni children. Why? Because mathematically they are the least common denominator of poverty on planet Earth. That is why Prophet Muhammad, alayhi salam, he said that the Yemeni are the best of people, because I am a Yemeni. So if you give money to a starving Yemeni, you are giving money to Prophet Muhammad. Inshallah. Indirectly. Like Jesus said, if you do something good for the poorest man on earth, then you are doing it for me. So that's why when you start the zakat, you should give your money to the starving Yemeni children. And Yemen should be a first world country, probably richer than Dubai and Saudi Arabia put together. Because remember, there are 2 billion Muslims on the planet. So if everyone just gives $1, it will be $2 billion. If everybody gives $10 a day or $20 a month, it's around $40 billion a month. So famine, the Yemeni food crisis, should be interrupted in just 1 month, basically. I gave them $600 last month. If I could do it, I don't see why you can't. All you first worlders, people living in first world countries. That would be around $600 million, billion dollars times 2. That's a lot of money. I think we could stop altogether the Yemeni food crisis in just 1 month. And once the Yemeni are fed, we go on to the next one and the next one and the next one, the Africans, for example. This would balance out your heart chakra, so you don't have to smoke the cigarettes or smoke the marijuana or inject yourself with needles and heroin and take crack cocaine like it's going. An epidemic is going around all over the streets in Europe, in America, with the fentanyl. The Chinese are giving the fentanyl to the Americans, but it's a double-edged blades. They're just taking revenge for the British that drugged them, trying to cantonize China, bringing forth the cantonization of China, trying to transform China into different cantons. So they started drugging them, and they started the Opium Wars. So the Chinese said, hey, there's a concept that works. Let's just give fentanyl to the Americans, but it's a double-edged blade because it just keeps fomenting, keeps fueling the cycle of hatred. And sooner or later, the Chinese are actually gonna start becoming addicts once China becomes finally a first world country, like they wish, a superpower like America, United States. They believe, yes, like they were back in the day during the Silk Road. China will become a first world country, and they will start having first world problems, like their civilization. They will not be able to be any more strict communists. They will start trying all the lavish pleasures of the West, and only that we are vaccines to these pleasures. We're starting to get vaccines to these pleasures. That is why actually many people in the West are embracing Islam. But the Chinese have no vaccines against these Western pleasures, and they will just start taking the same fentanyl they were selling to the Americans. So that's just how it works, my friends. You don't even need an army anymore. So the second reason why you should smoke ganja or the marijuana, the infamous gateway drug, would be to acquire knowledge. So let's pretend you are a Rastafari. You believe that it connects you with nature and the spirits and with Jah, which basically is the Rastafari word for Allah, God, basically. But honestly, if you want knowledge, just read a book. Just read a book. You don't have to smoke the ganja to become knowledgeable. You just have to read the book. There are better ways in acquiring knowledge. Maybe you want a personal experience of that knowledge. And I suggest you start reading the Noble Quran. That is the best book, number one. But if you're Muslim and you have already read the Noble Quran, nothing prohibits you in your religion to start reading the Dode Jing, the Huahu Ching, Eastern classics, Eastern philosophy on Taoism, the Bhagavad Gita, the Rig Veda, the Upanishads, Hindu books, or the Gospel, for that matter, and trying to find the unity of Allah in all things. Thank you very much, my friends, for watching this video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Because there is a hadith which says that in Islam, we should let other people practice their religions, even though ours is the best. They don't know where they're missing out, but we do not have to force our religions onto others. Inshallah.